Hey everybody, this is the What is Life primer. So this is before you actually start the assignment. I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. And so looking at this guy, this is one of my favorite actually assignments of the whole year because usually we get a lot of great conversation about it and can go for days. And so we're really looking at and trying to break down what is a living thing and what makes something living. And sometimes we have to look at things that are on the borderline or things that are right in that gray area between this or that when we talk about these kind of arguments. And so you're going to go through all of these and you're going to write down first the evidence that is living. Even if you know the object is not living, I'd still like you to try to think of what are some things that it is doing that's like a living thing. And then you're going to give me some examples of what it's doing that is not like a living thing. And at the end here, I want you to justify is it living or is it not? Okay. And you have to justify your reason. You have to give me that reasoning part of the CER. Here, after the whiteboard meeting, don't worry about this blank right here. Do not worry about it. Do not worry about it. Leave it blank. You're going to come back and fill this out once we create our own definition of what living things are. This is you trying to explore your mind, explore your reasoning of what living things are. We're going to come back and redo this. We call it a redo. And that's what that whiteboard spot is. If you were in person, we'd be using whiteboards. Even in person this year, we're not using whiteboards, so don't worry about it. So I want you to think through all these. What is making it living? What is it making it not living? Now, one of the arguments that we always get stuck on, and I want to at least bring it up in your mind so we can all be on the same page, is sometimes we get stuck on this concept of living, non living things, and then that kind of starts getting blended into it's alive or not alive. Now, what I mean by that is don't get confused by alive and not alive. That's like my great grandmother is not alive currently. She passed away a very long time ago, but she was a living thing. Even though she is not alive currently, she was a living thing. So we have to be careful with that distinction, living and non living. When we're saying not living or non living, we're saying it has never lived at all. Now, there is some argument to say like a fossil of a dinosaur, is that a living thing? No, it's not because it has changed from a living thing and it has gone through chemical processes that have made it a non-living thing now. But the actual thing that was fossilized was living at some point. So I know it's a very fine line there. And we're talking about things that are very, very, very tiny. But I'd like you to think about it. The other thing is think about yourself as a whole. You as a whole are a person and you are alive. I can 2000% say you're an alive thing. Now, if I chop off your pinky and your pinky is just in front of you, is it alive? And that's where if is it a living thing? And that's where it gets a little complicated because are you just the sum of all your parts or are your all your parts living as well? Like, is that pinky on the table just as much a living thing as you as a whole? And that's a very big theoretical question that you might have to kind of think about during this lesson too. So play through this, work on it. Like I said, do the evidence that is living, evidence that is not living. Even if you think it's living or not living, do the other side and justify your reasoning. That's all you have to do. There will be another video tomorrow to kind of talk about the right answers and what we kind of come up with on this assignment, and we'll go from there. So I hope it goes well. Thank you, guys.